Hello everyone. I hope everyone is there. So we will wait for a while to start. And first, I would like to introduce Visit Lapland's this live discussion. Visit Lapland is a local company which is trying to promote Finnish Lapland and working for the industry from 2014. And today we were scheduled to talk about the current corona crisis and then how it's affecting the local businesses in Lapland and what are the situations there and how local entrepreneurs are watching and then they are preparing for this and then trying to recover from the situation. As you know that like because in every place corona situation is really harsh and then for the entrepreneurs and local tourism it's really hitting really hard and then the companies and businesses are trying to get new kind of solutions to solve the problem. Today we will have three guests with us. We have um, our one of the guests from the University of Lapland Multidimensional Tourism Institute, Jose Carlos, who is going to join us a bit later. And then we also have two other guests, which is Tinia from Seven Fells Hostel from Ullas. And we have also Maria. She is from Utsioki and a content creator and all as a tour guide. She's working for a few years in Lapland and then she knows very well the situation of Lapland and the tourist companies operations and so on. So we'll start to introduce our guests first. Hello, Tinia.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. So could Tinia please introduce yourself?
All right, I'm Tinia. I'm the owner of Seven Fells Hostel. Um, we opened the hostel in 2014 here in Ullas. I came here to work as a seasonal worker and then found a property. And last summer we opened our second hostel, and now we moved only to this second one and got rid of the first one. And yeah, we have been closed for about 2 months now.
Yeah, like in Lapland, like all the tourism operations and tourism services are closed, and then it's also the current restrictions and travel restrictions and all other things are also affecting these. And also, of course, this corona situation, how it's spreading the whole country, and then how to keep it in minimize, and then how to reduce the amounts of affected people. So it was also from that perspective. So we'll talk about those. We have another guest from Utsioki, the northern part of Lapland, that far you can reach. So
Hello.
she's from Utsioki. Maria, could you please introduce yourself?
Yes. Hello, I'm Maria, and I have worked with Visit Lapland before. Some people might know me as Into the Nordic Wilderness. That's my Instagram account and also my company. I work here in Utsjoki as a tour guide. So I do Northern Lights guiding, outdoor guiding, with a company called Aurora Holidays. So I do freelance work as a guide, and I also do freelance work as a photographer and content creator here as well.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's what I do.
Okay. We'll talk. We will have another guest, which is senior lecturer from the University of Lapland. He will join us soon. So we will start from Tinia and how Tinia is seeing the current situation and how did it affect in your business and how do you describe the overall like situation as a owner of the local hostel and then as an entrepreneur?
Well, basically, we made the decision to close both of the hostels around mid March. It was also because like it started to feel like really anxious to keep the guests and also my staff healthy. And so then it's just started to be a little bit too much. And basically, then they closed the ski resort here, stopped maintaining the ski tracks because people just kept coming here. And yeah, we had to close basically 1.5 months before the high season ended. So we lost a lot of revenue, and of course now it's the low season already, so we can't really compensate that either. Basically, what we have done here, or what I started to do already mid-March, we launched really fast, like gift card website, really simple one, and started to talk with our like partners. What should we do all together? How to survive this? We are still talking. We're doing cooperation together, just like trying to push each other to continue. And then we also joined the worldwide gift card campaign called Adopt a Hostel. And so just to reach like international guests as well. We got the like finance, well, not really finances, but like for the analysis, we got some money from Elykeskus. So we are trying to concentrate now on some things that have been on the to-do list for the past 6 years. It's, I don't know if I'm like, my mood is changing every other minute almost.
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel really positive about everything, and the other times I'm just crying and I want to finish everything. But it's a really tough situation because nobody knows what's going to happen anyway. So we are not alone now.
Yeah, like when it was, for example, like when did you stop the business or like visiting the people and then your hostel already? It was in March or in
Yeah,
early?
March. We basically, the last guest arrived 23rd of March, when then we said we are not taking anybody else in, and then those people left 28th of March, and that was it. Then we had some like long-term guests only in the cabins, but not in the hostel. And yeah, now we are planning on opening in 1 month, but of course things will be a little bit different, and we are still planning how to do everything. Maybe just use maybe 3 rooms or 4 rooms.
Yeah. So how did it actually, for example, like affected, like when it's summertime and then we had lots of plan for this summer period, because like we in Lapland we wanted that in summertime people can visit more and more, and then we were trying to develop it. And then how did it affect your plan for this summer, for example?
Well, my personal plans, I was supposed to have 2 months off. But basically, people like the guests are normally coming here in July. So now we are really, really looking forward to what's going to happen before July. If people are going to travel in July here, which would be like it would be so good if that happened, because otherwise, well, I think the hostel can last until September, but then it's just like, then I will probably just close the doors.
Yeah. So have you thought already, like what would be, for example, if the situation comes little by little a bit in control? So do you have already any plan when you could open the hostel, or like it's still uncertain?
I have decided to open in for midsummer because normally around that time the guests are coming for the summer season. Now, of course, who knows? Um, but we have now 7 rooms and 2 cabins here. So the cabins for sure I'm going to rent out, and maybe only 3 4 rooms in the hostel, because then the guests would have like kind of a private toilet. So, but we're not going to serve any breakfast or anything. So it really depends how it starts to feel. Like we have been asked actually our or some of our regular guests like how they would feel to be here, um, what kind of like ideas they have, like how we can open, how they would feel comfortable here because they are sharing the kitchen and the living room. So that's been really helpful.
Yeah, so how is it, for example, like your hostel is in Ullas area, so Ullas is one of the most popular place, and then also it has like largest centers there, and then lots of people visit there all around the year. So how it's affecting there, for example, the local entrepreneurs there, and then in the surroundings, how do you see that?
Mm, I would say that, like, for example, we have been keeping in touch with like loads of our friends and who own the business here. So since this started, we have been like really, um, how would I say? We have been keeping touch a lot. First, of course, I think it took us a month like to even meet up because everybody wanted to avoid like being in like touch. And but we were calling a lot. We have like a support group together and trying to just share ideas what to do, and I don't know, get new ideas, try to find out what's happening in the world. And so now it's kind of going back to normal, whatever that is. But it's been just kind of a lot of support to each other, and that's actually a really good. It feels really good that um, we are not like hating each other or anything. So
Yeah, like the support from the local entrepreneurs and
mm,
also from other companies and local people is really important to survive in this situation, because like the situation is same for everyone. And then if we, for example, companies or small local or big, how many companies are there? So if all support, then probably like it would be kind of easier to go through and then survive the situation.
yeah.
And do you like think that some kind of efforts or some alternative things you could try, for example, to get some kind of revenue when the hostel is closed or businesses are closed or until it opens for the next time? Do you have some kind of those ideas or any thoughts?
Yeah, we have been planning a little bit, but like for example, my work didn't end in March. My work didn't end last month. All the paperwork had to be done like to kind of finish the season. So I haven't had that much time yet to think about how to do. I'm going to have a meeting later today with somebody about like our online things. So we're going to concentrate on that first. And
Yeah.
but I don't really know yet what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Like I can see like you had some kind of plan that, like, for example, if people can cooperate or they can support the small businesses. Let's say like you were planning to have some kind of campaign or include in that campaign that people can buy some kind of gifts or gift card or something, so that if someone buy for a accommodation in your place and other services, so they can get that experience later, and then come later in Lapland and then have that thing. So what was that gift card thing and that idea?
Well, basically, that was my first solution, trying to get a little bit of like money to pay rest of the bills and everything. And also, so it was like the first solution, and now it's the worldwide campaign. And then we did this like photo thing together with lots of business owners from Ullas, just to get a little bit of like publicity that we are still here, and we hope that people are coming back in the summer or when things get better. And basically just I don't know, I haven't had the greatest idea yet coming to me, so I'm looking forward to receiving it soon.
Yeah, they're probably like it would be nice to see, because like when the businesses are affecting in for a long time, so how it would be possible, for example, some kind of alternative solutions. That's kind of important. I think that gift here is really nice. If people can support the small businesses here, then it would be great. I know like many people are still contacting, so probably like they are also trying to reach, and then they would get help, and then probably like from there it could be still little support that it really matters,
Yeah,
even though like very small ones.
yeah.
So we will come back to you, and we want to go to Maria. Maria is from Utsjoki, and then she can tell her experience. She's working here in Lapland for a few years as a guide, photographer, and content creator. She has also some other different kind of special skills and titles, so she can tell us about those.
Yes, so I have been working here in Utsjoki as a tour guide and Northern Lights guide for a few years now. About 2 years ago, I've made Lapland my permanent home, and ever since I'm here all year round. So I'm not just here because of Corona, I'm here because I've made this my home. And of course, this year things went a little bit different than they usually would in terms of the season as a tour guide. So this is one thing I do being a tour guide. I also create content. I take photos. I help businesses with social media marketing. I write texts in both German and English because I'm originally from Germany. And I do translations and things like that. So really a variety of things, as well as some photo shootings for people. And some of my work has been affected more by this than other. Of course, the work as a guide has completely stopped due to Corona. Of course, the Northern Lights season would be over by now anyway. I work for Aurora Holidays here in Utsjoki. I freelance as a guide, and usually our season would end around at the end of March. That's the Northern Lights season. Of course, there's other people that come and visit. There's an ice fishing season, and now in June there is a salmon fishing season, and hiking. People come for hiking and all sorts of reasons to Utsjoki, really. But the Northern Lights season would be over now, but it was cut short this year. We also, as you said earlier with the hostel, we had at the beginning of March, we still had people, and then it suddenly started. Borders were closed because we're right on the border to Norway here. So actually where I'm sitting right now, I can see Norway. That's how close we are. And of course, our activities are both in Finland and Norway, to really get people like the best taste of the area, because you can really make use of both sides. And I remember that I don't remember the date. It was mid-March. Suddenly, in the morning, they had made the decision, boom, that's it, you can no longer go across. And if you do, you have to quarantine for 14 days. Of course, that was the day we had a husky adventure planned in Norway. And like our guests, as a guide, you always want people to have the best experience possible, of course, when they come to Lapland. So knowing that is not going to be possible really made my heart sink. The only thing that made it a little bit less bad is that it was their second time here, so they had been there before, but they were still, of course, so sad. So we did something alternative in the area, and they still had a good time, but those were the last guests that we welcomed. And when they left, that was really the time where we sat down and thought, is it going to be safe to do one more week? Because we had one more week scheduled, and we thought about it, and we talked with the people, and people were getting nervous. They would have been coming in from Canada and the US, and they were getting nervous, so we rescheduled with those guests. And I think everybody involved felt better about that solution. And I think it would have been more and more complicated. More and more activities would have not been possible. And then people are not getting the best experience out of it either that they could have got. But yeah, after that, of course, the ice fishing season was completely cancelled. It doesn't involve, like, as a guide, that's not something I'm involved in, because people, it's usually Finnish people that come and do their own thing. But of course, for the company I work for and for many other local people who rent out cottages and things like that, usually to ice fishermen, that was a complete change that the area has seen, for sure. And the Easter tourism, of course, completely fell flat as well.
Yeah. So how do you, for example, at the moment, how is the situation there? Is it that like all the services are kind of normally closed because of these restrictions, or is there someone open but not tourists are not there, of course, but how it's going there in Utsjoki, for example?
At the moment, of course, Utsjoki compared to other places in Lapland is really small. So this is a really small area we're talking about. And one of the things, when it first started happening, a lot of businesses closed their doors completely. And of course, restaurants had to be closed and stuff like that. So a lot of businesses stopped operating. And we like a lot of people, even though the thought, I'm sure, of being isolated in Lapland is attractive to many, really many people have stepped forward and said that's not a good idea, because we're such a small commune that our health, like the health system here, cannot cope with if many people started visiting. So if there was hundreds and thousands of people coming to cottages and things like that, if it would have all started going wrong and there would have been many cases, then that would have had terrible effects, because then neither the locals nor the tourists and guests that come to visit can get the healthcare that they would need, which would leave everybody in a pickle. Because we don't have a hospital here. The closest hospital to Utsjoki is Rovaniemi, which is a 450-kilometer drive south. So that's not a situation that we want anybody to have to face. But at the moment, of course, everybody works with it differently, I think, the situation. For me personally, as I said, the guiding has come to a stop. The photography work, because that's something also with people face to face, that's not really something I can do at the moment either. I think that's one of the first things I can pick back up if people are, like, locals are interested, for example, if events can happen again, if they have like graduations and things like that. That's something I can do. And of course I do mainly landscape photography, and that's something I can do anyway. And luckily, I'm in the fortunate position where I can still do online work. But then again, I think small companies and medium-sized companies all across the globe are struggling financially. And while I think everybody can use the additional advertising at the moment, having the financial means to pay a freelancer to write or to create content, videos and stuff like that. Not that many businesses are in that position right now. So it's affecting me personally in that way.
Yeah,
but
like
I try and see it positive, because like you said, some days you feel really down and it's getting to you more, but I'm a positive person, and I'm hoping that we can create something like photos and videos, something positive that people will look forward to visiting Lapland in the future, and something that helps people that are stuck in cities and in their apartment to stay positive and have something to look forward to. That's
yeah.
That's the message I'm
very
trying to tell
positive.
myself on the good days.
Yeah, that's very, very positive view. And then like it's really nicely said that like when the situations becomes better, and then like people can also come here quite often. One person here is asking that whether there are helicopters for the sick people if they need to go get to the hospital. Yeah, of course, like here in the Lapland, like they have helicopters, like most of the time those are in use actually. So people are coming from different places, because like in Lapland, it's really a big place and then it takes long time. So that's why like we have the helicopters to the central hospital to Rovaniemi. And like I was asking to Maria that how do you, for example, spend your time, because it's like people are stuck in some place, and then you are in Utsjoki, which is the northernmost place in Finland. So how do you spend your daily life there, or how it is now?
I would say honestly, my personal life has been affected in the sense that I had travel plans for May, and they got cancelled. So often May is a quieter time, and that tends to be a time when people that are local here go somewhere else. And of course, for many locals, those plans have fallen through, including me. But in general, my everyday life here has not changed that much. So life in Lapland is a lot of like if you're quite remote, I think your private life looks a lot like what life would look like in lockdown, like in this kind of, because we don't really have that much like entertainment. There's some restaurants, and there is a pub here and things like that, and those are closed at the moment. But because I'm somebody that's quite outdoorsy, and this is something we can still do, so that hasn't changed. Of course, I spend time indoors working, but then I try and go for runs, go for walks. You can still meet up with a friend and try and get some socialization. Of course, have the distance, but even here, like I'm so grateful to be surrounded by this nature and have that. I know that's not a given, and I don't take it for granted, but just being able to go for a coffee somewhere outdoors and sit there and just trying to breathe and rebalance, that's something that I appreciate a lot.
Yeah, that's cool. One person asking like how, at least maybe for the speaker's question, like if there would be need for some uh, seasonal workers for the summertime, so how it would be possible or some kind of that. So do you have any answers or something you want to respond?
I know that they were looking for, like, I know Finland is looking for seasonal workers for sure. Both people that are already in Finland, and also I think they had a deal with other countries. I'm not sure. I think it cannot be done at full capacity this year, but
yeah. Here we have one entrepreneur from Utsjoki.
yeah, this is my boss. She's this is who I'm freelancing for. This is the owner of Aurora Holidays. She's
Okay. Yeah. So she says that like there's a helicopter and then how it's
Takes you to
bringing
Norway, yes.
people to the hospital. Yeah.
But of course, there's also an ambulance
Yeah.
available as well.
Yeah. So like if I go back to Tinia and if like you could say that like what would be, for example, to cover from these current crises, like how we could, for example, the companies and local entrepreneurs and other people could work together. In that sense, do you have any suggestion or any thought?
I think here in Nurlas, we're just trying to, I don't know, support each other, and also the Nurlas marketing is doing a really good job by just like kind of giving people idea about our very long winter this year and just kind of I don't know, working together. Our local shop, they are doing like deliveries and I don't know, I'm not in that point of this time yet where I've had loads of time to think about things or what's going to happen or how I'm going to do it. Now it's been basically just trying to finish the season and pack up that and then continue to the next one. But it's just like as was said before, we are not in this alone. And I think in the future we will make a lot more cooperation with everybody, like, and just support each other. I think in the beginning of this whole crisis, everybody were really supportive, and then it went a little bit down when all the like money questions became based in Finland. And but yeah, it's we're all in this. So
Yeah, it's the same boat. So it's like kind of
yeah,
understandable. Like all the people are in the same boat. So like
yeah,
situations happening same for everyone. So it's not
yeah.
like for someone it's happening for in a different way. It's happening at the same time for the big companies, for the small companies, and everyone living there in the area. So it's kind of same here. So like you said that there was some kind of business support from the these labor and employment ministry and other places from the
Mm-hmm.
government. So how those kind of supports were for you, for example, or have you had kind of a possibility to get those, or how those are, do you think that those are enough or something like that?
Well, actually, like I wasn't expecting any support, and I think the Finnish government, they haven't actually supported at all. I don't know why is it like that, because in some other countries, for example, Italy and Denmark, there's been like direct support to companies. The only thing what Finland has basically done is that now as a business owner, you can become unemployed without closing your business. And I don't think that like unemployment is the answer. I had 5 staff members and they were supposed to work until end of April, and I had to lay them off because I couldn't pay the salaries. It was impossible. And I don't know, it's like we got the money from Ely-keskus to like the analyze the situation, but it doesn't help. It pays the salary for myself and 1 staff member, and we have to kind of. It's all about digital. It's all about online things. It's not the support to this current situation or get out of this situation. like our costs are like thousands of euros a month, whether there is a guest or not. So I don't really, I can't even be disappointed with the lack of
Yeah.
support because I wasn't expecting it. But I was, of course, hoping that there would be some kind of support, for example, to pay staff like 80% or something. And that's how keep like the businesses alive instead of supporting unemployment, which is never a really good solution.
Yeah, that's true. It's like the government may be trying in different ways, like how they could support the local companies. But as we can see from the recent survey, what was done by Lapland Chamber of Commerce and a local tourism board, where many companies are there. So they are saying that at least more than half of the companies say that it's kind of really hard to survive till the end of the year if the situation continues in this pace. So it's really kind of the situation, it needs really kind of a strong support and action to keep it continuing, at least the basic services of those local entrepreneurs, I think. So what kind of actually, like you said that you have different services like hostel and rooms and other things. So how people can actually, what kind of service can people get there, and how do you welcome people? For example, if they think that they could visit to your place sometime when the situation is over. So is there something that you would say for them that
Well,
you could offer? Yeah.
yeah, well, basically we have bought already like hand sanitizer. So in case we will have the kitchen open here, people would have to enter like after they have washed their hands. Um, and of course, like in the cabins, it's totally different because then you are there, you can get the delivery from the local supermarket, and you don't actually have to see anybody, especially in May and June. It's low season anyway, so everybody are in the fells, and like the next person is like in 1 kilometer or something. Um, I think within the next 2 weeks, I will start really thinking about how we are going to open the hostel part. And of course, like my friend owns a restaurant and they have a takeaway. And then the shop, they offer delivery here. So we could somehow avoid people actually meeting each other. And probably, I don't know, people probably will pay in advance so I don't have to meet anybody or a guest. But at the same time, then you really have to think about how you can um, give the best service to your guests if you
Yeah.
don't see them, because we are normally like really helpful and always there for our guests. And now suddenly, if I can't see anybody, like how I'm going to give them that service.
That's true.
So, and that's really frustrates me because, like, I don't know, I like talking with our guests.
Yeah, that's kind of nice. Like sometimes I see like many people in Lapland really likes this hostel, your hostel, for
Mm.
example, in Ulla. So people, sometimes budget travelers and some other people also like in different backgrounds, they try to visit a nice cozy hostel where they can
Mm.
be just their own, some
Yeah.
solo travelers or group travelers. So do you have, for example, some kind of special service what you uh, have in Seven Fells hostel, if someone thinks that I could go visit to that hostel sometime?
Special service. um, I don't know. Basically, well, in the future or for this summer, definitely we're going to have only private rooms, and I don't think that kind of like travelers who normally stay in shared dorms will even like want to share a dorm. I wouldn't personally share a room with anybody during this time. So I will really think about how we are going to do everything after I have finished cleaning this hostel. And basically, it's like I really need to focus on how to keep the customer service on that level. Like, if, for example, like having a WhatsApp for our guests or some kind of online site where they can find all the information or even like order things directly if that's possible. And but of course, like summer guests are a little bit different than in the winter, because in the summer people are doing road trips and everything, so the type of the guests are normally different anyway. So they are coming late at night and leaving in the morning, or staying 2 nights here and exploring the nature. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, like at the moment, like we are actually waiting for the summer, and then like we are hoping that it would be really when all these situations comes better and then restrictions are over, then probably it would be nice time to visit during Lapland during summertime next year.
Yeah.
Because like this year we cannot really say anything.
Yeah, this
So
year we
how?
don't have summer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. Because like if everything goes nice, then probably we will have summer next year, and of course like maybe next winter as well. And how is the weather at the moment in Ullas? Because spring now, and then we are waiting for summer, and then few weeks later it would be nightless nights. So where
Yeah.
Utsjoki starts, where Maria lives, but how it is now in Ullas, the weather.
Well, it's like a nightless night winter, I would say.
Yeah.
It's spring at all. Like there's still like around 1 meter of snow, and it was snowing today, so I don't know.
Okay,
I
quite a
don't-
lot of snow still.
yeah, it's not going anywhere. I think we would just continue straight to winter from here.
Yeah.
Yes.
How, how it is in Ullas? I mean, like in Utsjoki.
Well, I
How?
can actually show you.
Yes.
So at the moment, I'm at the Aurora Holidays restaurant. I thought this would be a nice space because it's got a really nice view. Ooh, so I'm going to flip this. Let's see. So this is the porch, and you can see the river Teno. And on the other side, what's hidden between all the clouds is Norway. And as you can see, the river is still closed. Last year at this time, it was open already. And actually, we're doing, Aurora Holidays is doing a guessing game of people can guess when the river is going to open. Just because, yeah, we've had guesses all the way up until late June so far. So we don't know. But as you can see, it's snowing right now. Yeah. We don't. I don't think we don't have a meter of snow at the moment. I think, but it's at least still 50 centimeters according to the Kevo weather station. So we still have plenty. Yeah. So it's still possible. At this rate, we can still ski at midsummer.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So wintry summer. So we are getting this, and then
Yeah.
like as Tinia said, nightless night winter is
Yeah,
going to
our
start.
nightless night is actually starting this week. It already the last few days it's already been barely a sunset, so it's a very strange experience to have all this new snow coming all the time, but the sun doesn't set anymore, so the body is really confused on what season is currently happening. So yes, at this rate, I don't even know if the fishing tourism would happen, even if it's possible. Here in Utsjoki, it's still a big question mark. I know every day people are waiting for more news, what's possible, what's not. So the summer is a big question mark. Maybe some locals can travel with limitations, like you say. But for tourists from abroad, it looks pretty critical, I would say. I know I'm waiting to visit family in Germany as well, and like my parents ask a lot on when that's going to happen, but who knows when flying is going to be possible and in what capacity.
It seems like the governments and the European Union's local authorities trying to allow, for example, kind of necessary and inevitable those kind of traveling, but not really any kind of visiting and free time and traveling those things. But I don't see, like, maybe like next week there might be some kind of discussion that how those in between those borders in between those European countries will be open, and then in what extent those will be open. So it's kind of a big question, and no one really knows how it's going to be in normal situation. Like people can go travel if they want to. So it's kind of very uncertain at the moment.
Yes, I think everybody's just awaiting news. And of course, it would mean different things to different peoples. I think the restrictions in every country are going to be loosened first locally, and then you can look at surrounding countries and in what I know. First, probably business travel and essential travel is going to be possible again, and only I think like leisure travel internationally is probably going to be the last thing. But yeah, like you say, I think in the meantime, it's important that people support each other, that the state supports small businesses, that people have an understanding for the situations that entrepreneurs and businesses are in, and that everybody's trying their best to continue a service at the rate that's possible, with like keeping everybody and themselves safe as well. I think that's a priority for everyone as well.
Yeah, like how you said that you are an entrepreneur as well. So how it's going with your business, and then like how you are planning to in this situation.
So it's different. I try to go day by day because I don't really know. I don't really want to be thinking too much into the future because I think that can be very overwhelming. And for your own mental health, that's not good. So I take it as it comes, trying to be prepared for different scenarios as much as I can. So like I said, with online work, things are possible. So I'm working with some video and photography projects. I'm selling my own prints. So this is something I'm working more with at the moment. So on my web, like on my Facebook page, I've started like displaying some of the prints that I offer, and people can buy them. I'm working on my own website. You know, like you said, some of the tasks that have been building up when you're so busy in the wintertime, and I'm working with a lot of people, then I have not so much time. And now it's something that I can focus more on. So that's something, and I think a lot of businesses have done things like vouchers, certain souvenirs you can maybe buy, or things like that. And I think if somebody is passionate about a certain business, then this is, and they do have the financial means to support them, and of course you're convinced of the product that you're buying is something that you actually want and need. But I think in those frames, it is good to support local businesses. I've been trying to shop as much like from local businesses as I can, or like at least from smaller businesses or Finnish businesses, you know, where you can. Just with your everyday shopping, try and choose local and small over big corporations, because they most likely have bigger buffers to get themselves afloat with this, and choosing like to support, like buying juice from like a Finnish brand over like a small business over like a bigger business is going to help. So I think wherever you spend your euros and dollars right now, it does matter. It matters bigly. Like when I get an order for a print, the person that buys it might just be spending a little bit, but to me that's huge. Like it really, I think when you buy from a small business, the person owning that business is going to appreciate every one of your orders, and it matters.
Yeah, that's true. It's really, really kind of good points what you have said, that like how we can support the local businesses and local entrepreneurs and local people and the local products. That's really kind of very important in this current crisis situation, because
Yeah.
everyone can help you on their own, with very small things. It doesn't need to be like quite many loads and bigger things, but still we can support each other in that way. And then also like we can be in touch with the other people and then other entrepreneurs and all the service providers, so that like they can have like kind of collective some tours. So it's also kind of nice to be together, not like just buying or selling something, but still also like having together in the same spirit.
Yeah.
Here, one person was asking that like how foreign for the foreign visitors or tourists is kind of expensive to visit Lapland, and how is it possible to reduce that and something. So here I think Tinia could have good answer, because like Tinia is the hostel, Seven Fells hostel is mostly trying to give a suitable atmosphere and budget-friendly environment and cost-friendly, cozy living in Lapland, and that hostel is really a good example for that. I think in this context, like it would be really nice if you are thinking for some budget-friendly traveling and you come to visit Lapland, then you could visit, for example, in Ulla's Sevenfells hostel. What Tinia says about that.
Basically, like I used to be a backpacker. That's why I say that I'm retired backpacker. And I really like when I started the hostel, I was really struggling with the costs of like everything in like especially in Lapland, because the costs like electricity is a massive, like I don't know, you pay thousands of euros a month for the electricity. I think the price is always really bad for competition, because I want to, like I'm almost 40 and I want to have like a quality accommodation, but in a budget friendly way. It's kind of a struggle always that I can't sell beds, for example, for 20 euros a night. That's actually like impossible here. So it's kind of like I'm always struggling with the idea about playing with prices and like how to set up the price and how to attract guests coming here. I would rather not kind of make the prices any lower, because that's like we get the news from other parts of Europe how some hostels or accommodations are selling rooms for 10 euros a night or something. That's not really an answer in the long term basis. I don't know what's going to happen in the winter time, because in the winter we really have budget travelers here. we have backpackers here from all around the world, and in the summer everybody wants to have a private room. So I think we're going to talk about these things a lot with my friends, how to set up the prices also in the whole area, like what are we going to do, how to get people coming here. I think the tax for, somebody mentioned the tax for in Finland. Actually, the tax for accommodation is 10%, and also that's also for tickets. So, but the cost of like providing the bed is massive, just for one bed. So
Yeah, that's true. I think like I can add something here that like in Lapland, mostly like the experience, what we think that in Lapland, it's not the thing that you can, for example, go there something and take a picture and some kind of that. Like what in Lapland we want that people can have their as a true authentic experience. And then when you people are producing those services and then it costs. So it's not that like it's some kind of overrated or something, but when you want to visit a place which is authentic and life in a peaceful and relaxing way, and then you can experience all those things what you cannot really experience in other places. So then maybe like you need to consider those things, like when people are engaged in the small place and it really costs, and then providing those services, those rates and other things need to be in certain standard position. So sometimes you really cannot really decrease them or reduce them in even though if you want.
Yeah, I agree.
and also because you can do Lapland on a budget. Like when I came here for the first time, like there was no hostels then. So like that option wasn't there. I came to visit the friend. But like you just have to plan a little bit ahead, like at least few months ahead to get the cheapest prices on trains and even flights. And then there's a bus company who is driving here in the winter time. And most of the things, like the simple things, you can also do for free. Like this is not a good thing for for tour operators that I'm going to say, but you can see the Northern Lights for free. For example, everybody, well, not everybody, but most of the foreigners, they come here for the Northern Lights. But it really depends what you want to do here. Like if you want to have the most expensive stuff, experience the huskies and everything, you also have to think about that, like the dogs, they have to live through the summer as well. So it's like I don't know, it's not what you pay for that one time experience, it's like what you pay for them to live like all year round, also the like the local entrepreneurs. And here I think Lapland is awesome to come for visit and for holidays because it's clean, and like you will never experience this kind of like quietness anywhere else. You can just go to the on top of the fell, walk there and just relax. That's what I do normally if I want to completely relax. I just walk up there and see how small I am in the world.
Yeah, it's like finding yourself, or it's kind of a perfect place if someone wants to find yourself and then just want to be in like in their own world. So maybe like in that case, like Lapland is the best suitable option for that. Here, Tina was saying that she's from Aurora Holidays in Utsioki. She said that it's really not possible, even though like if it's expensive, but it's not possible to keep it in a way that how in other places, cheap hotels or cheap kind of services
Yeah.
to keep it in that level.
And I
Yeah,
think it's important to keep in mind that I think budget travel here in Lapland or in Finland, it's never going to look like budget travel somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like the prices, if you look at tourism in any region, always reflect the prices of the country in general. It reflects the wages, it reflects costs of utility, and so on. So I think we're not trying to be overly outrageous with our prices.
yeah,
Many people are already trying to keep them as low as possible. Like nobody, I don't know anybody here with the tourism business. Well, there might be one or two of the really big companies, but I think most of the small operators are not exactly getting rich from this. Prices are really
no,
kept at a minimum so people can afford it, because like
yeah,
the people operating these companies, they know that otherwise it gets too much. So they're trying to keep the prices low, and of course, budget travel might look more expensive, but it's you get what you pay for, and we're trying. I think I know, like you said, for example, you can see the Northern Lights for free, but you always get what you pay for, and sometimes it seems a lot. Why are you paying for a hiking guide, or why are you paying for a Northern Lights guide? But it's the service that we provide. And of course, somebody that's more experienced with hiking, or maybe they've done hiking in Lapland before, they can just go off on their own. But if somebody wants that additional service, that security, then you might want a guide. So it's really depending on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Um, but either way, it gets reflected in the price.
yeah, that's true. Like I can see, like in many different parts of Lapland, you can really get a different kind of experience.
Yeah.
Like you can be like on your own and then have like those basic services and stay in a uh, cost-effective hotel, and then also you can have these luxury accommodations and the luxurious igloos and other things. So how is your own plan, and then what is your like own choice? It says a lot, like what kind of price you need to pay.
Yeah, and also
Yes.
your needs, like, or what do you want to experience? Like, for example, me as a traveler, like, I don't spend that much money on accommodation myself. I choose a good one, but like, kind of cheapest price. I'm not interested in luxury travel in that sense. Some people are. So it really depends what you want to experience. I know that probably most of the people in the world, they are not so used to, for, ex- for example, just walk into the forest, because it can be also scary. For us, it's just normal. We just go there. But like, if I travel somewhere, let's say to Asia or totally different culture, um, I'm happy to, of course, pay for the service, and I need a guide there. Here, well, I just go out.
Yeah, that's the thing, that like when you are want some kind of extra service or something what you need to support yourself, or which you cannot really find on your own, or cannot
Hmm.
really like put it on your own there, so then you need some kind of help. And then of course,
Yeah,
like if you are getting help, then you should pay for it. That's kind of
yeah.
very normal, I think.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I think
so
in Lapland in general, it's possible to do so many different ways. I think people have this image of, I don't know, Northern Lights and igloos and reindeer, but I think we're like, as a region, Lapland is so much more. It has 8 seasons, so alone, like seasons alone, there's so much to choose from, and then all the regions have really something different to offer. So I know many people go for Rovaniemi as a default, and I think it's a great place. But I think there's so many different areas, so it's important to that you do the work beforehand, that you search what you're after. Is it more remote? Do you want to be less remote? Do you want restaurants? Do you want, I don't know, this kind of experience, that kind of experience? And that's an important thing that people, I think Lapland seems like a small region to some people, but it is really big. And depending on what you want, it's out there, like skiing, or some places have a bit more nightlife, or are a bit quieter, or maybe a bit more family friendly. So I think doing that research might make you happier as a visitor in the end. If you know what you want and what you're looking for, then and you find the place that matches that, then it'll make you happier and you'll get more for your money, for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Like we are also trying to, for example, like those who don't know, so I want to say that like we are trying also write different kind of stories and recent informations and articles, blogs in our website. So if you want to get to know about Lapland, you can also read in our blogs and in our website, and also you can get like informations about different places. And then in the recent times, we also updated different kind of stories there, so you can read them. And we will also do that in the coming days. We will also increase those. And this time is like our first time to arrange such kind of discussion. And then we are thinking that because the situation is putting us to stay at home, and then we cannot really get in touch with the other people, and like it's kind of hard for the people to visit Lapland at this moment. So we will try to have some kind of regular live discussions from now on, and in different topics and different kind of areas. And here, like I would say one thing that what I said before, that maybe like if the situation becomes normal, and then everything goes nice, and all these things fits very swiftly, so probably we will have a really great summer next year and winter.
Hope so.
So what do you think, Tinia? Is it a good like a kind of optimistic approach, or is it that like what we actually need to prepare for? Or
Yeah, like for myself and for my business, I really hope that um, I don't know, things would get better, or people would kind of, if you want to travel, that you take some kind of care that you stay healthy and keep the people around you healthy as well. Um, we need, I know for the fact that we need guests here in July, that's for sure. And some companies will last in the end of this year, but in case the winter is quiet, then I don't know how it's going to change, but it will change a lot then.
yeah.
So we basically have now July and September are the busiest months here before winter, and that's really the kind of the goal that we're going now for.
Yeah, hopefully like the situation in winter, or like before the winter, it will be much more better. At the
Yeah.
moment, what we are expecting, and hopefully like from that time, it will step by step open in every place. And we are hopeful that it's going to be in a positive way, and then lots of hope at the moment. Like,
Yes.
and Maria is living in the place where a few days later it will start the 24 hours of nightless night,
Yes.
polar days. What is your plan for that?
Well, it's actually just it's very much around the corner, and the nightless nights or midnight sun here in the northernmost parts of Finland and the European Union, it lasts until late July. So around the 27th of July, we have our last, like the first sunrise again. But even afterwards, for weeks, like into about mid-August or like 10th of August, it looks like there is no night. Only at about late August we get the first stars, and then slowly the northern lights return. And usually here our northern light season starts in September. So the plan is to stay positive. I want to, as an entrepreneur and as somebody that freelances with other companies, I want to keep creating pictures and videos that helps us in a way, and also helps people wherever they are, to stay sane, stay positive, and have something to look forward to. I'm creating a couple of video projects at the moment. I've got some other things as well that I'm working on, and working on my prints. And then in my free time, I just try to be grateful for the nature that's around us, and enjoy it as much as possible, because it is a really special thing that we have so much snow here for so long. Actually, this snow that's on the ground right now has been there since mid-October. For anyone that wasn't aware of that, it's that old.
Yeah, probably like those who stay even in summertime, some of them like
yeah,
it will
for
be
sure.
hard.
I think,
or maybe like in between 1 month or something might be that there's nothing, but it like highly expected that they might stay still all around the year, at least this year.
Yeah, especially the tall fells, they will keep the snow on the top probably. But I can show you the snowy view again for anybody that wasn't tuned in earlier, in case you don't believe that it's snowing in May. Right, let's spin you around again. There's the button. There you go. Really big flakes. This is the porch of the restaurant, and you can see the frozen river, big snowflakes. This is just all fresh snow that's there. We had a really sunny day yesterday that made you think that it might be spring, and then this is what you get now. It just tells us no, we're still in the winter time. And we have a bird feeder here, and the birds still very much rely a lot on the additional feeding as well. Crazy. Yeah, I don't know how it will. I know that some people have said they worry about reindeer and how it will affect the calving season, the late snow. So
yeah, let's see how it goes. But do you want to say any last words, Tinia?
Last words.
We have been here for 1 hour and more than 1 hour. So, like, how would you want to, what kind of message you want to give to people?
As a small business owner, I'm just going to say that support the small businesses around you, because that's actually the start of the future, that we are not all going to be unemployed in the future, and then there will be jobs as well. Just keep your friends safe as well, and yourself. We all have to really think about how we are going to continue with our business, how we are going to do it differently than normally. So I don't think things will go back to the normal that we used to have. Things will definitely change, but nobody knows how they're going to change it. So we'll see what happens. It's should I say interesting times, but um, not really in a good way. But it's also a good kind of a waking up for everyone that maybe we could do things differently. Maybe we could do things a bit more sustainable
Yeah.
instead of just like getting used to everything being on hand all the time. So
Yeah.
let's see.
Yeah, that's true. Like because like at the moment it seems that in summertime at least it's not possible to or it's not really expected that all these travel restrictions and flights and borders will be open as normal. So it's really kind of we can guess that in summertime it's really not possible at the moment. If we cannot really suggest people to visit Lapland in summertime from foreign tourists, but probably like we hope at some point in winter or before the winter starts, and it would be a bit more suitable atmosphere here to
Yeah.
visit. Yeah. So let's keep the hope, and then we'll also update all these issues here, and then we'll talk later in different topics. If they are continue our discussions, and then lots of information will be our website as well. And then we are trying to introduce some kind of virtual tour environment very soon. So probably like people can get some kind of experience also from home. At the moment, it's important that like supporting each other, support the local businesses, and stay safe, stay healthy.
Yes.
Yeah. So Maria wants to say something.
Yeah, I can very much agree with that. Like I said earlier, um, think about where you're spending your time and dollars. It doesn't always have to be financial support. It can be sharing small businesses' messages, their videos, their posts, asking how you can help. Sometimes they need virtual volunteers. I think just generally sticking together. And if one of your friends or one of your family members has a birthday, a voucher or something handmade from a small artist, that can really make a difference. I think you're gonna make the person smile, that's like who has a birthday, and you're also supporting a small artist or a small business. In the meantime, that's how I see it, and I think just try and stay positive. I know for many people this has been crazy on the mental health, whether you're a business owner or just somebody cooped up in a little bedroom or in an apartment. Try and use the internet to connect with people, and just keep something to look forward to. Visit Lapland, and I know Seven Fells Hostel also posts nice updates, and Into the Nordic Wilderness, I post videos and photos. Check out those photos, have something to look forward to, and maybe play a guessing game of how long we're going to have snow here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like it's really nicely said that what we really need to do at the moment, like taking caring and sharing other all of us, like in together. Like those who don't really know, like or maybe not that aware of Visit Lapland. Visit Lapland is a local company. We have weekly some 2 millions of reach in our social media channels. And you can find Visit Lapland in Instagram with Visit Lapland. You can find us in Twitter. You can find us on other places in social media as well, in YouTube, LinkedIn, and other places. And we also have a website, and it does have like contents what you could expect. It also have some kind of booking platform if you need to book something, and then we are trying to improve our website as well in the coming days. So let's keep in touch, and then thank you very much, Tinia, for joining, and then valuable
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you, Maria. Hopefully, like it,
Thank you.
everything will be nice. And then greetings for nightless nights, which is going to be happening a few days later. And then it will be in wintry nightless night, and then
Yes.
midnight sun will be there, even though there is like snow and wintry situation. but
Yes, very much.
yeah, thank you both of you guys, and then please keep in touch. And then if you want to visit, like who are watching us, you can visit us in our website. Is this live is saved here, and then you can get it in ourlapland.fi/live. If you go to our website, then you can watch it later, and then also in our Facebook page. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
Yep.
you.
Bye
Bye
bye.
Bye
bye.
bye.